Hello and welcome to Die Rolling. I'm the ever excitable Adam, and today I'm here to talk to you about Cozy, Juicy, Real. This is a board game unlike any other I have played. So let me take you through the general overview and then join back here for my thoughts on Cozy, Juicy, Real. Cozy, Juicy, Real, the board game with a variant game-like purpose. Here we have Cozy, Juicy, Real. And in this game, you're going to be trying to get your little token, and we've got a lovely little cat unicorn thing, a caticorn, all the way along here to the very end and score as many points as possible. How do you get points? Well, you're going to be answering questions. You're going to be performing random acts, and you're also going to be going a little deeper with some of these cards as well. So let me talk you through this. We've got these different kind of spaces which have got a different color on each. So we've got this green one here. If you're on a green space, you're going to be starting out with a cozy question. If you're on a green or yellow, you get to choose cozy or juicy. Obviously, cozy are kind of like just random questions you might ask people. Juicy is something a little more deeper, and real is very, like proper poignant questions. Random is various different stuff. So let's have a look at one of these. So create a new handshake with the player that is counterclockwise to you. And finished, you get to draw any type of card you wish from the lot here. And when you get to the very end, you also have the option to go for one of these. So let's take a look. So guess right, keep the points. Guess wrong, discard card off the board. If the player to your left had to take on one of the following challenges, what would they choose? And you choose from one of these and get the points. Once you've got your guys all the way to the end there, you'll do one of these if you have enough time, and then you will count how many points you have. You'll be counting up all the points from cards that you have answered, so you can have a combination of a few of these, depending on how many you have done. And also, you have these cards here. If you have any of these cards in your little kind of space at the end of the game, then you're going to be subtracting points from this. So this is a way for you to give people additional points, but also making sure you're not having negatives at the end of the game. And also, you're going to be learning more about people. And that's what this game is really about. It's about learning about other people who are sitting with you at the table. This is a game you can play with complete strangers, or this can be a game you can sit down with a group of friends you've known for years and find out some more things about them. Hopefully, nothing too startling that will, which will make you question why you're friends with them. So you're going to be starting on the cozy space. Let's do a little caticorn here. You're going to be drawing this cozy question. You're going to answer. You're going to read aloud, when you were a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up and why? You're going to answer that, and then you're going to get 30 points for answering it, and you get to move one space. Everyone else is going to do this, so we're going to get coconut. What's one thing you love and one thing you'd love to change about your daily routine? I play more board games. I love the fact that I play board games on my lunch breaks. And what thing would I change about my daily routine? I play more board games. So coconut would move one space. And then we have donut. And imagine donut. You could visit any fictional world or place. Where would you go and why? That's interesting. A fictional place. I'd probably go to the Mass Effect universe and just kind of like get in a spaceship and fly around for a bit, because I imagine that'd be quite fun. Move forward a space. We're now the caticorn, and we'd choose a green or a yellow. Well, we're going to go a bit juicier here. So, and you're going to be moving 6 spaces with this one. So imagine you can manifest any one thing for the near future to look forward to. Achieve a goal, an event, or trip. What would you choose and why? I would go to the UK Games Expo if possible, or maybe even Gen Con. Maybe that's me thinking too small, but I'd do that. Maybe actually taking my family to Disney World. That'd be fun. Then I'd move forward 6 spaces. What? I'm going to give you an idea for a real question here. So what's a part of yourself that you've struggled to change? I can be very... something I struggle to change, I don't take things very seriously, and I can sometimes offend people. In the past, I've done that, and I kind of sometimes have taken a joke a little too far. I have changed that in myself, because whenever I found I have taken a joke too far and I've upset someone, I get really upset about that. So that's something I have struggled to change, because I tend to try to be a funny person. I try a little too hard maybe sometimes. But yeah, I've struggled to change that. But I feel like I'm in a place where, I'm grown up enough now to be able to do that and not worry about it. 5 spaces for us. And we're going to go for juicy. And we get, what's something you do to take care of yourself? What's one thing you'd like to do when it comes to self-care that you're not doing yet? Something I do to take care of myself. I exercise. I go for walks and jogs. I quite enjoy doing that, and I think that's really important to do that. And one thing I'd like to do when it comes to self-care that I'm not doing yet, eating better. I really need to eat better as my life goes on. Move forward 2 spaces. Let's go real again, 50 points. Oof. Imagine you've just time traveled 10 years to meet your future self. What's one thing about your life you'd be excited to discover? What would I be excited to discover? I don't know. I guess what movies I've missed out on would be pretty cool. But no, like I'd be interested to see what my daughters are doing, how well they've grown or not. And yeah, I guess just my daughters and see how they're getting on with their life. 4 spaces forward, bam, 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 and we'd go for one of these with everyone else around the table. So sometimes you're going to miss out on some of these. You're going to be having a great time playing with this because you're going to learn so much about the people sitting around the table with you. The random ones have some really fun stuff in here. Challenge, you're the judge. Ask each player to strike a new yoga pose and give it a name. You're the judge. Ask all players to take turn doing the weirdest thing they can physically do, i.e. roll their belly, wiggle their ears, etc. Challenge, you're the judge. Ask each player to sum up their own life story in 5 words. Some really fun stuff in this random deck. So that was a general overview of Cozy Juicy Reel. What did we think of it? Well, it is unlike any other party game I have played. It's more of a social interaction game than a party game per se. You're going to be sitting down and learning a lot about the people at the table. What I really enjoy about this is it is a kind of competitive game in some ways, but it's more of it's more of an actual activity to do together. This is something I think that couples would really enjoy together as well, especially if you've got, like a group of couples. That would be quite cool as well. So like you and your partner and then a friend and their partner, and you could get to know each other really well over this. It's a really interesting and well thought out premise. The questions themselves, the cozy stuff is quite kind of flip. It really doesn't matter. It's very just kind of like off the cuff kind of questions that you would, just break in the ice. And then the kind of juicier questions go in a little bit more kind of depth, but then the real questions can get really deep. And it's not something that would make anyone feel uncomfortable at the table. It's more about, sharing home truths and just really kind of, it does make you think. It's not like a game where you're going to come out and just everyone come away laughing and stuff. You're going to be coming away having a good time, but you'll be forced to kind of confront some questions that maybe you haven't asked yourself before. And they're not questions which, like I say, they're nothing that's traumatic, but they're questions which, they are quite real questions to ask people. Something you wouldn't be very happy kind of like talking to a complete stranger about, unlike me, where you overshare, and then the real questions would be fine. The random activities in there are quite interesting as well, and the whole thing is put together very nicely. Now, we've got the prototype copy here, so obviously there are some things subject to change. I really enjoy the little images on the discs, and the fact that you can actually, you never are forced to do a real question. You've always got the option of a slightly less real question. So you might have people like me playing who love to overshare, and they'll always go for those real questions. And then other people might be like, do you know what? I don't really know these people that well, and we just want to, I just want to get to know these people better. So let's just do a bit cozy. Overall, this is a fantastic little game. It's something that you could get out in family gatherings. You can get out with a couple friends. You could get out with just your game night group. It's got a lot of interesting kind of questions in there. And it's one of those ones where, once you're done with the questions in the box, you could just come up with your own, to be fair. Maybe just people at the table just asking actual questions to each other. But yeah, overall, really fun game. It's the aesthetics I really enjoyed. It's well thought out. It's very different from other games I've played. So is this a buy, a play, or a kind of a void for Die Rollin? This is definitely a play to a buy. It's a play if you see this at a board game cafe, get this out, sit down and play with some friends. This is a buy if you want to be the person who's bringing this
to game night. If you know people who'd love this game as well, buy it for them, because this is a really fun, interesting game, very different from stuff I've played before, and it's one I'm really looking forward to. I've got a couples date coming up soon, so I'm really looking forward to bringing this along to that and kind of finding out what kind of answers they come out with, and also finding out what my partner comes out with, and hopefully she'll enjoy what I'm coming out with as well. One thing to also note before I go on this, which I just really want to shout out, is what I really enjoy is the little cards you have to go deeper, or to say, what about me, what about you? Those questions, those cards are really interesting, because rather than it be you just going around in turns and, someone's kind of talking about what, their own kind of answers to their questions to score points, you've got the ability to interact more, go a little deeper with their kind of answers and stuff. You can also include yourself in that. You could ask someone else at the table if you really want to know what their answer to a question is. You can really applaud them with a bit of courage, or you can give them a hug if you think they've done really well. And it's just a lovely little little touch to it, because it could just be those regular questions you go around asking it, but the fact you've got those kind of purple cards which bring you and other people in the table into the conversation, it's fantastic, and you are encouraged to use them because you get minus points at the end of the game for any that are left in your little collection. Overall, like I say, great game. It's a buy, more a buy than a play for me. It wouldn't be for everybody. This is one for people who like to come out of their shells. So if you are introverted, this might not be something that you want to have a go of. But if you are less introverted, or you're introverted and you want to kind of open up a little bit more with people, find out a bit more about people, then this is definitely one I'd say it's a buy. Well, that's about it from me for this particular game. Stay tuned to the channel, because we will be playing some of this on air. And if you caught any of our footage from AirCon, you will know that when Alex and I had a few moments in a Wetherspoons, we actually got this game out and we were just answering questions live, which was really fun. I've been the ever excitable Adam. Please make sure you like and subscribe wherever you can find us. You can find us on Instagram, you can find us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and also TikTok. And until next time, guys, stay safe or die rolling.